Welcome to our presentation. My name is Morgan Lexner. I'm the president of Silver HAMR Mining Corp, formerly Lakewood Exploration. We are a newly formed silver company. I'm going to be making some forward-looking statements. Please have a review of these. We are a newly formed silver company with 3 past-producing silver mines. One in Idaho, the Silver Strand Project, past-producing to 90 meters, high-grade silver project. In the Revette Formation, which is the same as Sunshine and Lucky Friday, and these large Silver Valley mines that have produced hundreds of millions of ounces of silver. We have the Eliza Project, which is in Nevada in the historic Hamilton district. This is that district that produced over 40 million ounces between 1860 and 1870 and is the reason that Nevada is now called the Silver State. We have our past producing Silverton Project, a 933 gram per ton high grade silver mine, past produced in the 1920s to 1930s, has not gone back and had a look at. That's common theme with our projects, especially in Nevada. No modern exploration, no modern geology, no modern geophysics or geochemistry have been done in these past producing extremely high grade areas. So we're really looking forward to getting out there. I want to touch on our team for a second. We have a team that is fitting to our triple-pronged or 3-pronged approach. We have myself, the mine builder type, which we'll touch on later. We have a team of exploration experts and geology experts in the background, and a team of capital markets folks that really complement each other. Instead of being a single or a double-rounded team, we're a three-group, well-rounded team. I want to show you quickly where we are on the Lasagne Curve. The PR Lasagne Curve talks about valuation of mining companies and their projects. As you can see, we have 3 projects that are on the lower portion of that curve, showing the exponential growth potential of all 3 of our assets. There's a zoomed in version, shows you where we're starting for the year, when our drilling's commencing. Our drilling has commenced at Silver Strand, our geophysics and targeting and geochemistry at the Eliza area, and at the Silverton area will be followed shortly with geophysics and geochemistry and mapping. So we're advancing very quickly, and that should start to reflect on that curve. Just want to quickly touch on our share structure. Very tight share structure, 37.4 million shares out, 2.7 million warrants, about 2.7 million options, 7.8 million warrants, fully diluted, we're about 47.9 million shares outstanding, and market cap of between $15 and $20 million, depending on the day. Let's start into our flagship asset, the Silver Strand asset. As I talked about, it's in the Revette Formation. It was a past producing mine, only down to 90 meters. It was a high-grade silver mine. We have had very good luck with consolidating a land package in the area, 5.5 kilometers. This had not been done before in this mine. So now we have something called the Burnt Cabin Fault and Burnt Cabin Mine. So in that 5.5 kilometer area, we are able to now explore that in areas that haven't been walked before. They have not been touched from a geology standpoint, from a look, nothing. So with new logging roads going in, we're seeing outcropping. We've had samples released that show mineralization in areas all the way between Silver Strand's existing mine and the old Burnt Cabin mine. So this is really exciting for us because not only are we looking at a mine in the Revette Formation, same as the majors that have 1,800 meter deep mines that produced hundreds of millions of ounces, but we're also seeing this mineralization across surface, not only silver, but gold. So, between 4 to 12 grams a ton gold. It's very strong as we come into building out an ore body and possible production. Let's quickly touch on our phase 1 of our exploration program. We put this together in very short order. Like I said, the company started about 4.5-5 months ago. Since then, we've gone into the underground. We have rehabilitated it. We have drifted out 40 feet. What that means is we drove a tunnel or a drift 40 feet away from the existing drill bay that was used put in a new drill bay. We're getting an underground drill going. We have started surface drilling as well. So in very short order, we were able to come up with these plans, organize contractors, and execute on everything we said we're going to be doing. We're going to be drilling upwards of 2,700 meters in the entire program. But being from underground, it's going to save us a lot of overburden drilling. So it's going to allow us to hit the ore body on a better angle at deeper depths and prove that concept, which is no longer a concept, out. Let's touch on our Nevada USA assets. The Hamilton District, like I mentioned, had that 1860 to 1870 silver rush. It was the biggest silver rush in the history of the United States. The reason Nevada is the silver state is because of the Hamilton silver rush. It was walked away from in the 1800s. We are in something called the south side of the Eberhard Fault. The north side was Treasure Hill, where all this activity happened. There are a few mines on our claim, one being the California mine. It was a past producing mine with historic grades of 18,700 grams a ton and anywhere between 5,000 and 18,000. There was a chip sample that came from the California mine in the 1960s that read at 25,000 grams a ton. So for people that are watching this, when you talk about grades like that, an average silver mine can be built between 100 and 250 grams a ton of silver and be profitable. So that just shows you the large scale potential of these high grade areas. We are currently executing on our geological mapping program. We've expanded our claim package because we're seeing alteration and mineralization up to 5 kilometers away. So very positive that what we're seeing there has not been looked at with a modern geological approach, but also modern technology, which is allowing us to model this a lot different than the old timers had in the 1800s when they were just chasing what they could see. This is a bit of a summary on our Eliza project. Like I talked about, there's high grade. It has been identified as an area that we picked up from a gentleman by the name of Dave Forrest. I personally have spent a week on these projects with him, going over the geology with our geologists as well, getting a really firm understanding of what's going on in the area. It's road accessible. It's about an hour and a half from Eureka. So very close to communities. Just down the road is Fiore's project that they're developing right now. So there's a lot of activity in the area. This area has not been looked at in a very long time, and it's very exciting for us to add this to our portfolio in such a short time. This is just a little more on the silver project itself, on Eliza. The grades being so high, it was compelling to us. It was compelling in the fact that we had Silver Strand, a past producing mine. This also puts us in Nevada, the top jurisdiction in the world right now for mining, but also the silver state. So now we're in the Silver Valley and the Silver State. We want to talk a bit about Silverton. Silverton was a past producing silver mine, a shaft mine in itself, and has half the property has historic past production of up to 933 grams a ton. If you remember the model I was talking about, how mines are built nowadays. So that would be considered a very high grade mine. The other half of the property is in that Round Mountain unwelded tuff formation, and it has grades between 0.6 up to 6 grams a ton from what we are seeing. This is exactly what we are looking for to build a large silver producing company. We also have these gold credits between Silver Strand registering above ore grade. So a lot of positive things coming from having these past producing mines and the ability to go back to them and look at them with modern technology, modern geological knowledge, and actually approach these in a methodical manner that will allow us to expand these ore bodies to that large scale potential, but also to that near-term production potential as they were past producing. I just want to talk about the Round Mountain side of it. This is a visual of what the unwelded tuff or the poorly welded tuffs look like. We are chasing that with our geology program. And you can see here that the pit at the end of 2005 for Round Mountain and what their ultimate pit plan is, it's large, it's open pit. It can be heap leach most likely. So that's very interesting for us when we're talking about this. Just want to touch on our management and directors. Myself, I'm the president of the company. My background is in building mines. I've worked for companies like Freeport-McMoRan in Indonesia on the Grasberg complex, one of the largest mines in the world. I spent just about 2 years at the Oyu mine in Mongolia with the Rio Tinto, held by Rio Tinto, developing their undergrounds and their shafts. I've spent time with Golden Star Resources in Ghana, West Africa, redeveloping an old underground mine and turning that into production. So that leans heavily towards what we're trying to do with the silver company. I've also spent time with Sabina Gold and Silver on their Back River project, setting off their Arctic marine laydown facility program. So my experience is very much the pushing project management, keep going forward type. And obviously you can see that through what we've been doing here at Silver HAMR and the short timelines we were able to get everything put together and going, including drilling. Our chief geologist, Phil Mulholland, been in the area for 35 years, worked for big companies like Barrick, has a very in-depth knowledge of these mines in the Revette Formation, but also in the area. So he's an absolute advantage. He has a lot of contacts in the area and a lot of geological knowledge that is really helping us understand what we have at Silver Strand. We have Lawrence Ralston. He is our director. He's been recently put on the board as a director. He was the VPX for us. He is the chairman of Metallo Royalties, you know, a $700 million company. He started Resource Opportunities and wrote for them for a very long time. Lawrence has upwards of 40 years of experience in this industry. He's a staple. He knows his knowledge and breadth in this industry is incredible. Al Nesh is our CFO, brings a lot of financial background and CFO for multiple listed companies on the stock exchanges. One of our other directors is Jonas Lang. He is an executive VP for Maple Golds. Jonas has been a part of raising over and above $50 million in financing and equities for mining companies. He is a capital markets expert. We are very happy and pleased to have Jonas on our board and provides us an extreme amount of knowledge in that whole three-pronged approach of capital markets, exploration, and mine building. We also have Ron Burt, SVP of exploration for Centerra, also chief geologist for Silver Standard, been in industry for 30 to 40 years. Like these folks that come into a company have an option of who they want to work with, and they've chosen to work with us. And we feel extremely lucky to have them as advisors and directors on our company. One of our advisors, Warwick Smith, as well. Very skilled capital markets guy, venture capitalist, started American Pacific, a very successful junior mining company that has had a lot of luck with bringing in majors. They brought in Rio Tinto to their Madison project. So extremely well-rounded group of folks in the background to help out and with the strategy and vision of moving us into a mid-tier production company with large exploration payoff. That concludes my presentation. Please feel free to ask any questions. Reach out to Christina, our head of IR, or myself, and I look forward to answering any questions. Thank you.